French philosopher Rousseau. He gave liberty, equality, and fraternity, these beautiful values, to the entire world. Humanism and egalitarianism, these are jewels in the human's crown. Humanism is the most important. Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he asserts, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. And all these great revolutionaries, freedom fighters, thinkers, philosophers, they upheld human values and freedom. According to Rousseau, man is born free. Each one of us is born free. But in due course of time, human being is enslaved by human beings. Racial discrimination has come into the existence, and around the world man did not treat man properly, mannerly, and so slavery system was come into the existence. And in South Africa, in African continent, apartheid was the system, political system. That system separates people according to their race that was existed. So many great revolutionaries, freedom fighters, thinkers raised their voices against that evil system, apartheid. And South Africa, almost for 300 years, had been fighting, struggling against that system, against the white supremacy. And in 1994, Mandela's African National Congress, ANC, got the ultimate, the absolute majority, almost 252 out of 400 seats owned by Mandela's political party, and he came into the power. Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa on 10th May 1994. You see, he became the first black president of America, but he followed the secularism. He did not consider his government was in favor of only black people. Thereafter, he decided to treat everyone who resides, who is the citizen of Africa equally as a human being. As a human being. And in his oath-taking ceremony across the world, politicians, statesmen, luminaries were present, attended his oath-taking ceremony. And in front of them, he upheld human values. And he declared in his speech, never, never again will this beautiful land experience the oppression of one by another. It was his thought. And almost hundreds of leaders were present. The representative of 140 countries were present. You see, on that day, on 10th May 1994, the entire atmosphere of South Africa, it was jubilant. All people were so happy, overwhelmed. It was the oath-taking ceremony of the first black president. The white supremacy was ended. And the ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. And the function, it was taken place in the amphitheater in Pretoria for many decades, for many centuries. That building was the place of the white supremacy. The country was being ruled from that place by those pro-apartheid people. And on that lovely autumn day, Nelson Mandela, he was accompanied by his daughter Zenani. And there were many leaders present on the occasion of that beautiful ceremony. And very first, Mr. de Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. Mr. de Klerk, he took the oath of second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. De Klerk, then Thabo Mbeki, and then Nelson Mandela. He became the first black president. He took the oath as the first president of South Africa. And while taking oath, he pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution. He declared that he would rule according to the Constitution and for well-being of the Republic and its people. In his speech, he valued liberty, equality, fraternity, then emancipation of people, and he took an oath to fight against poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discriminations. And he delivered very iconic speech. Then the ceremony started. As soon as she completed his oath, then he saw there was a spectacular array of South African jets formation over the Union buildings that roared in a perfect way, and that showed the military's loyalty to the government. Then the general of the army, his chest bedecked with ribbons and medals, he saluted him. He recalled the same general, the same machinery. They were trying to arrest him just years before, and the same now they saluted him. Then two national anthems were sung. One is of white people and another is of black people. All people, those two national anthems were Kosi Sikiel e Africa and Die Stand. And really all people were jubilant. During the Anglo-Boer War, which differences were emerged between white and black people, all those were patched up. And both communities sang those two national anthems wholeheartedly. Then he recalled the galaxy of different freedom fighters. Some were alive, some were dead. But he recalled all those efforts, great efforts of those great leaders. And amongst them, Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Chip Luthuli, Yusuf Dado, Bram Fischer and Robert Sobukwe. These were the leaders who sacrificed their lives for the sake of nation's freedom. Then he talked about the courage. You see, courage, according to Nelson Mandela, courage doesn't mean absence of fear. Courage doesn't mean an absence of fear. Courage means triumph over it. It means just if you want to be a courageous, then you conquer the fear. You conquer the fear. You don't stop your journey there. Just embrace it and conquer the fear. Whoever may be, a fear is existent, but a great people conquers it, gets triumphant over it. Then he He recalled oppression of British supremacy, the harshest brutalities of those people created heights of characters. Those great freedom fighters were born through those harshest treatments. Then he talked about love. He says hatred is useless, love is important. Even in the prison, he was loved by the person, the police. He was treated humanly by the person. So, love is natural. Love is natural. Everyone has full of love. Then he talked about twin obligations of person. Every person has twin obligations. Obligation to family and obligation to nation. Some people are engaged throughout their life in obligation to family. They fulfill their family duties and they look after their children, wife, mother, father and close relatives. And throughout their life, they fulfill the first obligation. The second obligation is obligation to nation, duty to the nation. You see, very few people, they try to fulfill or they fulfill the second obligation. Generally, extraordinary souls, they try to fulfill their second obligation. They feel the entire nation is as family. My family is my country. It is the thought of them. And Nelson Mandela, what does he feel? In those days, in South Africa, to fulfill those two obligations, it was impossible. Why did he say so? Because first obligation to family, to look after family. South Africa was being ruled by British. Black people were not treated properly. So financial prosperity was not there. So looking after family, it was impossible. Then what about the second obligation? Second obligation, it was highly impossible. If someone tries, then immediately he was arrested. So in those days, it was not possible to fulfill those two obligations. But some people, when they realized the meaning, the definition of freedom, then they tried to fulfill the second obligation. You see, time to time, different stages, our understanding about freedom is different. See, when we are in a village, then our definition of freedom, if we want to go to swim, we want to go to graze our livestock, we want to roast corns, and we consider it is freedom. When we enter into school or college, then we feel staying outside for longer time with our beloved. It is freedom. Then we grow up and then we understand, oh, real freedom, what is real freedom? When our civil rights are eliminated, when we are not treated humanly, then we understand we are not really free. And then really when he was in his college, in his job, then he understood that he was not really free. Not only he, his entire community was not free. And then he decided to fulfill the second obligation to nation. And almost for 30 years he was in the prison. Then you see, in the end of the lesson, he talked about the oppressor's mind. You see, we must treat everyone humanly. Very first, the thought must come in our mind that he or she is human being. And that's the most important. When oppressor treats anyone inhumanly, then he is not free of good thought. So dear students, so here long walk to freedom. In this lesson we are going to study that Nelson Mandela and his struggle to his nation for the freedom. And you see here some terms are there. While understanding those terms, you see a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations. The seat of white supremacy. Be overwhelmed with a sense of history, resilience that defies the imagination, a glimmer of humanity, a twilight existence. So all these terms you must know it and the meaning of these terms. Okay? See, in this lesson, what is courage? What are twin obligations? Then sacrifice of great leaders. Then Nelson Mandela's iconic speech. These things are very, very important. And here you see there are many great personalities. Martin Jr., Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela. He was greatly inspired by Gandhi. So all these beautiful personalities we must study, and those biographical study will shape our characters. Okay, so dear students, it is about the second lesson, long walk to freedom, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela's long walk to freedom, his struggle, and at last how did he attain the freedom for South Africa. Okay, and that's all. Thank you.